Welcome to the second video in regards to a deep dive analysis of the film The Falling by Carol Morley. So we left it in this scene in which Lydia and Kenneth were very intimate, I would say in a more romantic way this time, and so much so that Kenneth was looking into Lydia and seeing Abigail um, just with a guitar. Okay. Um, Next, we'll see Lydia in the floor of the corridor where all the girls just pass through her, and Miss Alvaro as well passes and just ignores her. Okay. After a bit of twitch in the eye, we have another montage. We see the full contagion in the school in a very anarchic way. The girls falling left and right, or in a lot of the scenes. It's like it's very much in vogue to do that. We see a little scene of Kenneth just drawing a five-pointed star. We see Mrs. Lamont crying of sadness against the window. Um, we see Susan envying a couple at home. We could say craving for intimacy, and we even see Gwen just in her room practicing a fall. Right, so it's very much a conscious act. Okay. Then in the classroom, in the art classroom, we find Lydia and Miss Sharon talking.
What's happening, Lydia? She was so... I know.
It's the sublimation of feeling over reason. Okay, there's this connection between them, and when Lydia touches Miss Sharon, there's one of those flashes between them. Okay, and she doesn't know how to react, and Lydia just steps a few steps and falls again. Okay, that's a common thing. Whenever doesn't know how to get out of a situation, just faints. Okay. Next, the girls openly discuss the credibility of the whole phenomena among themselves.
Miss Sharon fainted. It's not just us.
How come you're not ill, Titch?
I don't know.
For whatever reasons, Titch, you're immune. Titch doesn't believe us.
I mean, why hasn't Miss Alvaro got the doctors in?
Oh, such a woman of the world.
She is. She's the one thinking you're making it up.
Titch is popping the bubble, or starting to, after the bloated credibility of the phenomena given by Miss Sharon. Okay. Next, on the teacher's room, Miss Sharon tries to expand this contagion to Mr. Hopkins, but of course the conditions are not there. This is a teenage phenomena typically. Okay, he instinctively kisses her, which is a way out. Okay. Next, we see the big confrontation between Lydia and Miss Alvaro. Here, the officiality, as bright as it and old-fashioned as it might be, stops the nonsense of Lydia.
It's been a difficult time, I know. Don't throw your potential away. Do you need some time off school, Lydia?
No.
There's been some concern expressed. You're quite an influence on the others with what you are doing.
I'm not doing anything.
I'd like your parents, your mother, come and see me?
As she cannot confront Miss Alvaro, she will export her rebelliousness against her mother.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't you know beehives are completely outmoded, Mother? Miss Alvaro would like to see you. You know, I reckon it's in my official records that my father ran off. Should I say driven off? Should I make you an appointment to go in? Monday? Tuesday? Any day of the week?
After failing to extract any reaction from her mother and the frustration that causes on Lydia, it all goes back to Kenneth in the room.
The late Carl Jung wrote of changes in the constellation of psychic dominance, which bring about long-lasting transformations of the collective psyche. Old secrets rise to the surface. Sorry.
I don't know why I'm shaking like this.
Why are you dancing?
You're laughing at me. Well, I'm laughing at me too, but it's not funny, Kenneth.
They almost kissed and end up sleeping off sleep, together in the same bed. And we have this image in which her mother discovers that and acknowledges that. And we see that Lydia is perfectly awake then and conscious of what she's doing. Okay, she's satisfying herself in a romantic kin contact with Kenneth. Okay, back in school, the whole system is crashing down on her.
Don't look at me. Stand. You are not to fraternize with any of these girls.
But Miss Mantell...
No buts. We'd like you to observe silence in the corridors and the communal areas. You will not attend assemblies, and you'll be taking games alone.
Harsh measures have been applied by Ms. Alvaro. She's not to contact with her friends, no touch with her fellow students. And now we'll see the apex of the delirium, after which it will be the crashing down of the whole delusion. Okay, this is the masked hysteria during Mrs. Morley's talk, where you not only see faintings left and right, including Miss Sharon, but the girls going, they're just doing random things, which clearly are not unintentional, as a fainting would be, right? They're just doing random stuff, and at the end they're holding Lydia in a cross-like manner, which of course is not an uncontrolled move. Okay, this is proper hysteria, let's say. You only have to look at the faces of Miss Alvaro and Miss Mantell to know that this is false, but it's so huge that they're forced to take official action and involve, regrettably, the health authorities. Okay, and we have this musical interlude, exquisite as always, of the girls at the hospital with Appy's image coming to Lydia's head. And if you look at the, if you look at the frames, you'll see all this sort of things. Okay. In the meantime, Kenneth and his mother are at home.
I haven't got a decent coat.
Come on, Mum. Do it for me. For me. Taking her things she might need.
Good idea.
Why can't you care?
That what you were doing?
Mrs. Lamont reveals to Kenneth that she knows what they're doing, and he storms in fury. In the hospital ward, a nurse looks tenderly at the relationship between Kenneth and Lydian, not realizing that they're brothers. She's thinking that they're like a boyfriend and girlfriend. And after a while, Kenneth just is already looking, and trying to entice Susan. And in the meantime, Titch tries to soften the blow to Lydia.
The school's been shut down.
Kenneth never can.
You're the brother.
Yep.
You must believe something's wrong now.
I suppose all this can't be for nothing.
It's them and us, Titch. Don't look at me like that. You make me feel I'm making this up.
If it's how you feel, it's how you feel. I don't know. It's like Uspensky said.
To be free, one must be conscious.
It seems simple, but it's not simple. It's all about perception.
Sometimes, I wonder who you see when you look at me.
I see my friend, Lydia. And I see a powerful personality.
Powerful. Nobody knows who I am anymore. What I'm really like. What I think about doing.
Lydia is totally unhinged, but alone in her pointless rebellion. Miss Sharon is the first to go, behaving finally as an adult.
I wanted you to know I've been discharged. Most of the other girls too.
They didn't find anything wrong.
Just... all my tests were clear.
It's wonderful.
Poor Abigail Mortimer. She thought she knew it all. Naive little thing.
Abby and Lydia. So very close.
Those skirts.
Lydia.
Unhinged. She'll move on. The young always do. Sorry we have to let you go.
It's okay. It's all right.
I was getting a little... Anyway, I've my art.
Are you going to have it?
I don't think you'd be so understanding, Miss Mantell. It's not as if I'm married.
Neither was I.
You mean...
Contrary to popular belief, I was never a nun.
No, I was going to say... You had a child.
We have two reveals here. Miss Sharon is pregnant and will keep the child, and Miss Mantell was pregnant at one point, and it's implied that she aborted by the frames intercalated in which you see the bloody hand. Miss Mantell was probably forced by social convention to abort, not to be a single mother, while Miss Sharon, not so much. This is a clear generational gap which leaves Miss Mantell regretful of having aborted, probably as a life would have more meaning with her child, right? And because, well, we know abortions are very traumatic, okay? So much so that she nearly faints for real this time, okay? She doesn't, but she has to just grab some of the desks and things like that. Next, we have the following montage of the psychiatrist interviewing the girls. All pretty normal, but for Lydia, who hates her mother, despises her teachers, and accuses the lack of father. Okay, we see the girls in the ward, Lydia negotiating with reality.
He's prescribed tranquilizers for all of us.
They don't seem to want to believe we're ill. My advice? Don't take the pills. And try and hide your symptoms. I'm finding, being in the more advanced stages, that my symptoms don't show as much anyway.
The advanced stages?
Yeah, Connie. Being further along, I'm ahead.
You just can't stand that we're all feeling ill too.
No, I'm glad you're ill. Well, no, not glad, but you know what I mean.
I'm gonna get my parents to arrange for us to see a leading medical specialist.
Susan!
Susie.
Come on! I'm not gonna let you down.
She wants attention, and she wants it in exclusivity. Okay, Susan and the girls are abandoning her little revolution. We see Miss Ovaro and Miss Mantell learning the diagnosis of hysterical contagion with this scene in which they laugh about being a middle-aged woman. And back in home, we see Lydia's mother throwing it back to her face a bit.
Sounds to me like they didn't find anything wrong.
The tests weren't advanced enough.
You didn't go mentioning me to them, did you?
The world doesn't revolve around you, Eileen. You know, I'm supposed to go and see another psychiatrist. I don't think you'll have much choice but to come. They'll ask lots of probing questions about you, you know. They're very interested in exactly why I am like I am. Have you got any idea what it's like having you as a mother? It's so unfair! I never asked before you!
And Aileen ends up with the the scissors in her hands in a protective position. Okay. Lydia is sitting on the floor hard and not knowing how to manage the situation. She does indeed hit the floor by another more physical way, at last fainting. Okay. Finally, Susan delivers the final coup de grâce to Lydia in the following scene.
But I'm definitely in the advanced stages too.
That specialist of yours will just put it down to female hormones. I mean, it could be all kinds of things. For all sorts of reasons.
Tastes metallic.
You're nothing like her, you know.
You've never actually cried for Abby, have you? Anyway, I'm not coming to see you. I came to see Kenneth.
Kenneth.
We started seeing each other now. You know, we've got a real thing.
In a total killer move, abandons Lydia, imitating Abigail, throwing back at her that she hasn't had a normal mourning process. And to top it off, she's seeing Kenneth, and you can see Lydia really hurt. Okay. Continuing with the downfall, Lydia is kicked out of school as they do Miss Sharon.
I requested to see you, Lydia, because...
You never liked her, did you?
Excuse me?
Her name's Abby.
As much as I'd like to take a close interest in every pupil...
You're going to tell me exactly what's going on? Are you? You're afraid of me.
You're merely a girl.
What are you writing?
There's nothing.
It's about me. You go around in that thing. You're so...
The school secretary is personally visiting your mother this morning to deliver the news. It is for the best, Lydia. It is with regret that I must inform you.
You can't. You can't get rid of me. I have rights.
So we thank you, Miss Sharon, for your invaluable contribution in recent years and give you good wishes for the future. And finally, in response to recent events, I wish to clarify that absolutely nothing has been found in any tests on the school or on the pupils. We have a reassuringly clean bill of health. Anyone that says otherwise is willfully wrong.
You'll never get rid of me.
I will not tolerate such conduct in this school.
You all know something is wrong.
Get her out.
Are you not going to fight for the truth? What have you been reduced to?
Prefects, get her out.
Inertia? You're all asleep. To be free, you must be conscious. Kill the system! It's killing you!
We see this impotent lashing out of Lydia and having accepted her defeat. Lydia is healing badly her wounds in the bathroom.
Leave. To be free.
unconscious. Why does everyone want to get rid of me? There's something here. Don't you feel it? Something's so poison. So wrong. Lock the door. Stop it! What have I done to you?
Done? You haven't done anything.
You should have kept me in the hospital. I'm mad. I'm crazy.
You are not crazy, Lydia. You are not crazy. You are not mad. We're normal.
If it's real to me, I made it up. I've never really been ill.
What? What about us? We've all had it, Lydia. I've not. We've all got it. Nobody can just faint.
I guess I started it.
Well, it happened to me very early, and I can assure you I'm no faker.
I'm not a copycat.
All of the tests were negative. And how come the others recovered so quickly?
The psychiatrist said if it was real to me. I don't think it is.
You know what, Lydia? You're the fake.
Everything's wrong.
And finally, Susan is the one pointing out that she is the fake. Okay, the others followed, and that was in a more honest way than what she started. In the following scene, she tells her mother that she's expelled, and finally, having nothing left, she falls in the arms of Kenneth as a last resort. Or maybe he is the one following on her arms, okay? Both seeing Abigail in each other in their own way, okay? We have this, of course, this incest, a very graphic and sexual scene. And finally, after removing Kenneth from on top of her, her mother explodes.
You disgust me. You ought to be locked up. You're dangerous.
I forgot he was my brother.
You forgot? Well, you've not been ill. But you are sick, and you sick in the head. There's not a man to be trusted.
I know he went and left you, but you must have trusted him once. I mean, you had 2 kids with him.
1.
2, there's me, remember?
1.
2!
I can count.
What?
You're not his.
That's why he ran away. Who's that, Mai?
Forget it, it's history.
It's my history. Who is he? Is he still alive? Oh, come on, you've got to tell me. Is there something wrong with him? There was, wasn't there? What's wrong with me? Who am I?
came from the shadows.
What?
And then he
You mean... You were... You were... I'm... And I look like him, don't I? I've grown up, looking like him. I always knew something was wrong, now I know. It was me, it's always been me.
I should never have said.
I'm glad I know the truth.
Last big reveal, she is the product of rape, okay, and probably the husband of Aileen left the family because of that, okay, because of a child that wasn't his. We find Aileen being a victim of the same social conventions, that belong to a generation before, and who was also made a victim of Miss Mantell when she had to abort. Okay, this movie is a cornucopia of female emotion. We got the joyful Abigail, we got the delusional, the raped woman, the abandoned woman, the woman that had an abortion, the one that is regretful about it, the over emotional adult, Miss Sharon, the one that freezes her emotions, Miss Alvaro, and closeted woman, Miss Mantell. All men are foreign to real emotion. All female emotion is heightened up. Okay. We have the last scene. Finally letting go of the emotional link with dead Abby. She is released, having crossed the bridge from virgin nubile to adulthood with the incest with his brother. Okay, we can see in the images haunting Aileen, the images of rape, of the bloody hands, etc. The effect that it has when she leaves the home, and we have the last desperate calls by Aileen trying to reach Lydia from atop of a tree.
Lydia. Lydia, sweetie, please come down.
Look at me, Mum! Look at me! Watch me! Watch me! Watch me!
No, sweetie, please.
Abby!
Down. Lydia, please. Come down. We could go to the seaside. That'd be nice. We've never been to the seaside.
I feel so real. I feel so awake, free, so conscious.
Lydia. There's nothing wrong with you.
Apparently, going to the seaside is a big thing for Eileen, which shows you the closeted life she led. Yeah, okay, in England, you're never more than 40 minutes away from the seaside. Okay, so Lydia falls in the water, freed from the need for hysteria. Maybe getting late should be part of the curriculum. Okay. The water could be interpreted as the common unconscious in the Jungian way, although I'm not a fan of this, and also I probably will do a Jungian movie next, so we'll deal with that later. She seems unconscious at first, and then she immediately wakes up in the hands of her mother, having the situation forced her to descend into the lake, which is probably what she needed to. Okay, and it all ends with the poem, "The soul that rises with us, our life star, hath had elsewhere its setting and cometh from afar." Okay, which resounds with the Voyage of the Moon song and remarks that we are slaves to our circumstances. Okay, this is a very good film. Okay, original, putting female feelings as the main character and leitmotif, and very well interpreted by all the girls, which actually lived together during the film and developed a bit this enclosed female living situation while filming. Okay, which is very good for the final product. Okay, what to say? Excellent movie by Carol Morley. Amazing. This has been The Falling by Carol Morley, and I'll see you next time.